Hi, my name is Katie Vander, and you are listening to this video because you're taking local area networking, which is CO233. Now you may either be in an online class or face-to-face. If you're in a face-to-face class, you probably won't have to listen to this video. But if you're online, listen to this. So keep listening so you can understand how our course is laid out. The announcements I use all the time, and with announcements I'll send weekly updates, emails, and it uses the email system. So make sure you check your email in GRCC. In Blackboard, you'll have a link to your email that you can get to. So I use this every week. Now, here's information about me. Like I said, I'm Katie Vander. I may know some of you. My website is Katie. It's my Google history. On my website, I do have and share information about things throughout the semester, so you might want to bookmark it. There's categories for courses, and this is where I'll share things that we'll come across or that we need to, that is just important to share for our classes and whatever else. And then also, there's other, like what is MOOCs and job resources, Linux, and so on. But in addition to my website on Blackboard, you'll also see a link to my Facebook page. I do use this a lot through the semester to share a ton of information. It's a gunshot again. To share a ton of information through social media. So be sure to go out if you're on Facebook and like my page. And then these are just a couple other things. Lady Geeks of Grand Rapids is an organization that a few women and I started earlier this year, where we meet monthly and just talk about women in IT, although men can join us as well. We'd love that. So like that on Facebook as well. My semester schedule is posted on my website, and then this just explains a little bit about my teaching style. If you've never met me, you might want to read through it so you understand what to expect from me, and more information about me personally. So I talk a lot, which is good sometimes, but if I can't talk to you all the time, I'll write a lot, so you can read about that if you are so interested. Now here is a link to our syllabus. This has standard policies for the college and the course. And at the bottom, if you want to download it, there is a PDF and a Word as well. Standard course policies. Now the one important thing in here, and I mentioned it in the Network Plus module video, that this course preps you for the Network Plus certification, but we don't require you to take the certification course at the end. You will just have all of the knowledge and the information by taking the course and going through the lab connections and building relationships and learning about networking. You'll have all of the knowledge to hopefully pass the certification at the end. So that's up to you on whether or not you want to take it. I highly recommend it. It's a good resume building tool. Here's a link to the textbook and software. Now there is another video that I created for lab connections, so I won't spend a ton of time talking about it because you've already heard it, but you can get you need the textbook. These gunshots are people hunting or practicing or shooting out in the woods, but I don't know if you can hear it on the video, but it scares the bejeebies out of me. It's like every 2 minutes they're shooting. Anyway, you'll need the textbook, the Network Plus Guide to Networks, and you need the 6th edition, and then also you need lab connections. You need the access card, either printed from the bookstore or online. You can get it through the publisher instantly. So what I would do if I was a student and I didn't have to go through the bookstore, I would find this book on Amazon or what all those book websites to buy cheap books and buy it used or even rent it if you want, and you can get it pretty cheaply. It's a pretty common textbook, and then just go and get the access code directly from Cengage Brain, and that's $60. So $60 for the access code. There's no way around that. Everybody needs their own Lab Connections access code because we're doing challenge labs. And when you go through the Lab Connections and directions, or actually when we look at the learning modules, you'll see how those are done. Here's a link to our course schedule and due dates. Now this could change if something happens with weather or what have you, but as it stands, our weeks run from Wednesday to Wednesday, and everything is due at 11:59 Wednesday night. So even if you're in a face-to-face course and our course ends at 1:15, you still have until midnight. Now, the assignments are scheduled and have specific due dates, so you can see those on the calendar for this course. So when you click on your calendar link, you should have a list of all the dates. And let me see if I can get into, I think also when you log into Blackboard, you can set up your calendar right on your main screen so you can see all of your due dates. And this might even show up in tasks, and this just helps you keep organized on what's due. I don't know if mine has that tool or that option. I don't think so, but you can add, maybe add the calendar module here or personalize your page. Now, not all professors use that, so you won't, all your assignments won't be there, but I do use it for my courses. But in addition to the calendar, I also have our week to week. So this is week beginning August 27th, and this is what you would start working on that day or that week. And then, on September 3rd, this is what you start working on. Now, I have the due dates in red for everything, and at the beginning, there's no due dates for the first 3 weeks, but then we start going pretty heavily where every week there's stuff that's due. Now, everything's posted, so feel free to work ahead to get everything in. A lot of our points come from the Lab Connections, your combined grade, and I'll show you where to enter that in. So make sure you get Lab Connections set up right away. So, like I said, the assignments get they have marked due dates, but after that timeline, the system will still let you submit it, but it's marked as late. So if it's like a few minutes late, I won't take a penalty, but it's up to me. When I grade, I will see when it was submitted or how late it is, and I could take a penalty for missed or late work. But it'll still let you submit it afterward. So there's our schedule, and I can. Oh, good! I already did this. Here's a PDF in a Word document if you want to download it so you can save it to your files. Now here are the learning modules. This is where all of our learning will take place, or all of the material will take place. Now there's 10 learning modules and a welcome module, which is what you're looking at now, a Network Plus learning module, and then it starts with the chapters. Now let's take a look at learning module 1. On the outside, it tells you what you are expected to do, and in most cases, you're going to read 2 chapters and do probably 4 labs per week. So don't wait until Wednesday. Now, if you're in my face-to-face course, we'll have some discussion in class, and we'll have some lab time as well, so you don't have to do everything outside of the classroom. So I always provide you the PowerPoints. You can use that. There's a quiz, which is open book and note, because that's how I like to do things. When you take the quiz, it's not timed, but you can you can go into the test and begin it. There's 20 questions, I think, and answer a few questions, and it can be saved and resumed later. So I'm not reading this, I'm just selecting something. So when you put an answer in, then you can hit save, or it'll mark it saved. And you can go down and so on, but say something comes up and you can't finish it, just back out or exit out of the test, and you can go back in when you have time. Now, this is all set up in the calendar with your due dates as well, but when you're totally finished, make sure you hit save and submit, and then your grade will show up instantly. Some assignments are Word documents, and there's only a few of them. So you'll do an assignment, you'll put this in a Word or PDF, and then click on here to submit it. And then here are our lab connections. Now, I already showed you in a previous video how to access lab connections and what it'll look like, but at the end of your lab, you'll be given 3 grades. You'll be given a exercise grade, a lab grade, and a combined grade. And I want you to submit. Make sure once you finish a lab, you record that here. So what you'll do is once you're finished with Chapter 1, Lab 1, and they're all labeled Chapter 1, Lab 1, Chapter 1, Lab 2, Chapter 2, Lab 1, and so on. You'll click on here, and it opens up a test, and there's one question, and the question in there is, what did you score? So say my combined score is an 87. Put that in. I need the combined grade that you'll get at the end of your lab, and save it, and then submit it. So each lab is worth 100 points, and then you would have gotten 87 out of 100 on that. Now, also, you know, I'm not going to just take your word for that. I can log, and I will log into lab connections and view your grade as well, but to make sure that we're all looking at the same things and that I know that you've submitted it or completed it, I want you to enter in your grade here manually, and then I will verify it. So, and then I always usually give a few videos that are things that are just for fun. But every week I can create I'll send an email or a list of the things that you need to do, and if we're in class, we'll do that in class. But the whole course is out there in the learning modules. Here is directions on lab connections. Read that carefully. We need lab connections and not Cert Blaster with the textbook, so you need to get the right access code. Here's a direct link to lab connections. This is where you can find your grades. Here's your calendar. Now, I'll click on my calendar, but my calendar has a whole bunch of classes on it. But your calendar should just reference this course, or you can change it, but I think ours is in, we'll start seeing our due dates on the 10th when things are due. So you'll see these things here. Now mine looks different than yours because I'm in a different mode, but this will help you keep track of when things are due. Resources, these are just additional resources that you'll want to read, and as the semester goes on, I'll add some things in there. This is how you can contact me. Please use my email in my GRCC email. In professor information, email is the best way to get a hold of me. I also, if it's an emergency or if you need to talk with me right away, you can send me a text or a phone call. This is my cell phone number. I do not check my number at work. I'm on campus 3 days a week, but cell or text is my cell phone is another great way to get a hold of me. But you can email this way. I've left the tools options available. I've left discussions available. They're not used in this course, but it's a great way for you to collaborate with your classmates. If you want to bring something up or share information, you can do so in the discussion board. Just periodically check that and see what's going on. Tutoring information, frequently asked questions, and questions on accessibility are all here. So if you have or work with disability services or need help with disability services, you can find some important links here. Connectivity and training have to do with the open lab and lab connections. So that is it. Welcome to the first week of class. Make sure you check your email often, even if you're in the face-to-face course, because I'll use this announcement system frequently. Have a great semester. Don't get behind on your work, and I'll talk with you soon.